Theater. Brought to you by DuPont, makers of better things for better living through chemistry. Nearly everything in our daily lives is improved by chemistry, from transportation to the clothes we wear. Chemistry helps bring us better food, makes our homes more beautiful, more comfortable, helps protect our health, and adds to the enjoyment of our leisure time. Now, tonight's story on the DuPont Theater. Come.
Hattie? Oh, I didn't wake you, did I?
Wait me. I've been up for hours. Couldn't sleep. What? Nothing's wrong. No, I just don't sleep well nights anymore. I told you, a body doesn't have to.
But I'm very sorry, Hattie, but I just had to call you. The telegram from Florida. It came. Well, I'm so excited, I could almost cry.
Uh-huh. Well, save your tears for when you'll need them. You will.
Well, Bill, ever since that first wire came, your mother has just taken it for granted that we'd invite her along. And I don't think you should have let her go on thinking it. Unless you mean her to go.
You know I don't. We've talked that all out. It's just that... Well, it's just...
I know. Look, honey, I know it's a hard thing to do.
Look, we came to this conclusion together. If I got the job in Florida, we'd make the break. Well, I got it.
Look, Bill, if you're doing this for me, honey, you know how I feel about your mother. She's a wonderful person, but...
Oh, bosh. Now, who's a wonderful person? Look. Always cut roses while the dew is still on them. Ah, it's a lovely morning, isn't it? A little chilly, but lovely for Oregon, that is. No, let me. It'll just be the cleaner. I want to speak to him about that spot on my brown crepe, anyway. Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs.
Well, my son Sykes and Christine's sundress. Back so soon? Why, that's wonderful. Oh, but where's my blue cotton?
Oh, I couldn't get them all through on the special, ma'am. But she said you wouldn't mind waiting, since they'd likely be leaving soon.
Oh, but didn't she tell you that I'm...
And like as not, she said, the fall almost here now, you wouldn't be needing a cotton dress until next summer.
Oh, no. No, of course not. It isn't as though I were going to Florida, too.
I'll have it for you Monday, Mrs. Milburn.
Yes, Monday or any time at all. Any time will be all right.
Well, Bill, that doesn't necessarily mean that...
Oh, now, isn't that just like me? I forgot to remind him about that spot.
Mother, we've been trying to tell you that...
He did a very nice job on your sundress, Christine. You'll get lots of wear out of that in Florida.
Then you knew the telegram came.
Well, I should say I did. And I'm very pleased for you both. So I'll miss you, Mike.
We're right, Mother, I promise.
So will I. Here, now, you don't want this. Let me mix you up a nice batch of hot cakes this morning to celebrate the wire. Hmm?
Oh, Mother, you're wonderful.
What did I tell you? Mom just isn't a clean vine type at all.
Who, me? I should hope not. Oh, if I'd known you were having dinner, I would... Oh, no, thank you.
It was just a snack. I don't bother with more than a snack. Living alone's too much trouble. You'll see.
Well, now you must come and have dinner with me sometimes. You always did say you thought I was a good cook.
I used to be, when there was somebody around to appreciate it.
Did I show you the snaps they sent me?
You did.
They've both written twice in less than 1 week.
Mm-hmm. They do. At first. Gets dark early now. I used to light the fire about this time. Jim would keep a big heap of kindling in that basket there. Judy would sometimes make cinnamon toast on a long fork.
Well, there's plenty of kindling here now. Would you like me to light a fire for you before I go?
No, don't bother. I don't sit down here after dark. It's
what?
Do I have to tell you? It's a reminder of all the empty rooms around you and how alone you are and helpless. It's better to go to bed. Of course, you don't sleep. You just lie there, trying not to remember the nights when the house was alive with young people and laughter. Try not to think of all the silent, lonely nights ahead. If you don't know this now, you will soon. Now that your last child's walked out on you.
They haven't walked out on me. They're young and in love. And being in love is for 2 people, not for 3. They have a perfect right to want to be alone.
Alone? They have each other, don't they? They're not like you and me and all the mothers left behind. Not needed or wanted. Alone and afraid. With no hope. No future for any of us.
I'm not going to listen to one more word of this, Hattie Warren. You're just feeling sorry for yourself. And you're trying to make me feel the same. Well, I don't want anybody's pity. I don't need it.
You're not fooling me, Margaret Milgram. You play proud and brave now, but it won't last. The minute they feel guilty enough to send for you, you'll be just like the rest of us, upstairs packing your bag before the telegraph boys left the block.
Good night, Hattie. Hello, everybody. I'm home. House, I'm home. I'm home.
Mom just isn't a clean, plain type at all.
Certainly not.
Our sermon for tonight is from Kings 2, chapter 4, verse 2. The story of Elisha and the widow. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, Thine handmaid hath not anything in the house save a pot of oil. And then later, when she had filled the many vessels from the one small pot of oil, he said, Go, sell the oil and pay thy debt. It is a story we all know, and yet tonight, you and you take inventory. Ask yourselves, what do I have in my house? And think well before you answer. The answer may surprise you. Think now. What do you have in your house?
Nothing. Nothing, do you hear? Nothing. Nothing but a lot of empty room. Please, dear Lord, don't let me be like Hattie. Don't let me be alone and afraid.
terribly sorry, ma'am.
Now, stop, young man. You stop or I'll call the police.
Please don't do that. I honestly thought you'd all gone away. The family had left for Florida.
Family?
Well, look, I didn't come here to steal anything. I've never stolen anything in my life. I'm no thief. I was only going to... Well...
What were you going to do?
Well, I was going to... Oh, forget it, will you? Call the cops, why don't you?
Young man, wait a moment. Operator, give me the police. Quickly, please. Hello? Police? This is Mrs. Milgram of 4511 Western, and I want to report... Oh, I'm sorry. There's been a mistake.
Think now. What do you have in your house?
Well, I have a piano.
We'll return to our play right after this message from DuPont. This is The Night Watch, a famous painting by Rembrandt, a real masterpiece. And this is another masterpiece, Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. These are masterpieces, too. Hamlet, Paradise Lost. Do you know what that word masterpiece originally meant? Back in the Middle Ages, a man didn't have much opportunity to choose his job. He was apprenticed to a master craftsman at an early age and stayed there whether he liked it or not. If he wanted to go into business for himself, he had to wait until a member of the guild died. Then he had to present to the masters an example of his work, his masterpiece. It might or might not win the approval of the older craftsmen, but if they did accept it, they might tell the young man that in order to be admitted to the guild, he must give a banquet for his fellow craftsmen. Price, about 6,000 kronen. Because he could not afford that, the young man's application was put away for future consideration. Fortunately, times have changed. Today, a man still needs capital, but it's a lot easier for him to go into business for himself.
Well, George, we're awfully sorry to see you leave. We'll be rooting for you.
Well, thanks. You know, I've always wanted to be in business for myself.
Well, the odds are all in your favor. According to this article here, an average of 11,000 new businesses start up every month. Here, listen to this. In the last 10 years, over 2 million new businesses were started. And while not all were successful, there was a net gain of 600,000.
But I'm starting out in such a small way.
Well, over 3/4 of America's businesses employ less than 3 people. George, there's a greater opportunity for people in their own businesses today than there ever was.
There certainly is. It is estimated that by 1976, there must be 40% more business enterprises than there are now to meet the needs of our growing population. This means unlimited opportunities for millions of people to go into business for themselves. Those who do will find a cordial welcome from large business firms who work with them as customers and suppliers. At DuPont, for example, sales service laboratories like these help DuPont customers, many of them small firms, to solve technical problems. Large businesses, like DuPont, depend on small businesses and couldn't exist without them, nor could America. It is this teamwork between business firms of all sizes that brings you DuPont's better things for better living through chemistry. Back to the DuPont Theater.
So you weren't afraid it was a trap?
No, ma'am.
I knew you wouldn't come if I was wrong about you. You just wanted to use the piano, didn't you?
I said it was a crazy thing to do, ma'am, and I'm sorry. Now, if you give me that sheet of music, I won't bother you anymore.
It's in the house. Well, come along if you want it. I don't play the piano myself. This used to be my son's piano. My second son, the one that was killed in the war.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oh, that's all right. I don't mean to burden you with my troubles. I just wanted to ask you, do you compose? I mean, did you write this yourself?
I suppose you could call it that. Composing without a piano is kind of like, well, drawing a picture in the dark. If you'll give me that piece of music, ma'am, I'll be on my way. Thank you.
If you... All I was going to suggest is that if you don't have a piano...
Forget it, will you?
Then you're a fool. You don't deserve to have a piano. If you won't use one that's sitting idle day after day in a house big enough and empty enough so you can pound away all you like.
You mean you live all alone in this big house?
Certainly.
And you wouldn't mind if I,
No, I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't make any difference to me at all.
Well, then, no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't put you to such a... Well, then, maybe, if you insist,
I don't insist. I just invited you, that's all.
Here we are, Mrs. Milgram. And let's see, pound cake, cookies, sugar lumps.
Excuse me, could I please have change for the phone? I'm in kind of a hurry.
Well, I guess Mrs. Milgram won't mind. Excuse me, Mrs. Milgram. Youth is always in such a hurry.
Thanks.
Now, let's see, where were we? Sugar lumps, cream, tea.
Oh, yes, and coffee, please. My guest may not like tea.
Hi. This is Dilly. Dilly. Well, what'd she say about Saturday night? Oh, she can't? No, Janie can't either. Her father's on the swing shift. He has to be in bed at 7. Janie couldn't have a party unless the factory burned down. Oh, what's the use? The last time we had any kids over, the people downstairs called the landlord, and we almost lost our lease. My dad was furious.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, that'll be all, thank you.
Okay. Call me right back at McNally's grocery store then. Bye. Honestly, you start on a Tuesday planning for Saturday night, and you still end up every week with no place to go.
Oh, dear.
$2.78, $79, $80, $90, $3, $4, $5.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure you'll find some place to go.
Sure, like the Palomar.
Hey, let me get this. Oh, now you keep right on practicing. Oh, it's okay. I'm just going to... Oh, heavens, what's that big headline?
Kids raided at Palomar. Police pick up teenagers in wild riot.
Well, what's the Palomar?
Oh, just a tough dive. Place where a bunch of kids with nowhere else to go hang out. They're not bad, just, bored. Hey, cake, cookies. Looks like you're having a party.
give a party.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, ma'am, that's right. She showed me the ad.
See? One of my girlfriends saw my name under the personal. To the girl called Dilly. If you and your friends would care to have a party in a big old-fashioned house called Park 8178.
Well, ma'am, it sounds all right, depending on how much it would cost.
Cost? Well, there's no charge. No, they'll just have to promise to clean up after themselves, that's all. Saturday night? Now, that's fine.
Donnie, what did you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was an accident. I'll pay for it. Well, window glass doesn't cost very much, and perhaps your husband could put it in.
No, please don't tell my husband. Well, if he knew I let Donnie out of the yard again, you know how husbands are. Oh, his shirt's not pressed this morning. The roast's as tough as nails, and now this.
Oh, my dear, you are upset, aren't you? When you're young, there are days that seem to go...
Days! I wish I'd never been married. I'm a terrible housewife, and the whole block knows it. I can't make a child mind me. I can't keep a house tidy. I can't even cook a stupid dinner right. I'll send someone to fix the window.
What do you have in your house?
Free cooking classes. There, now, go ahead. Oh, no, don't touch it. Oh, lesson number 1. You must never ruin pastry with the warmth of your hands. Just cut it in lightly like that. Men just love light, flaky pies.
I want to
Oh, no. Donnie. Now, let me see. What do I have in the house? Oh, yes.
Oh, where are you going?
Just down in the basement. My son, Bill, when very young, used to have an erector set. It ought to keep this young man plenty busy. Look, Donnie.
Wow!
Most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. Giving up your house to a bunch of strangers.
Well, they're not strangers anymore.
Suit yourself. But you can't fool me, Margaret Milgram. You may be keeping yourself occupied, but it's only to hide an aching heart. Oh, bosh. How long since you've heard from Bill and Christine?
It will be 3 weeks this coming Monday. Look, Hattie, do you mind? Dilly and her young friends are coming over again tonight, and I really should hurry and change.
Are you going to dress up? What for? As an unpaid chaperone? I thought her father was coming this time.
Yes.
Well, they don't need you. They only need your house. Margaret Milgram, can't you see that they're just making a fool of you? You just lie there, trying not to remember the nights when the house was alive with people and laughter. Try not to think of all the silent, lonely nights ahead.
Well, why is it so quiet? What's happened to all of Dilly's friends? Dilly? Well, aren't you having a party tonight?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Milgram. Pretty soon now.
Well, I just wondered. Everything seems so quiet.
Oh, I'll get it. A telegram? Oh, thank you. Mrs. Milgram, it's for you.
Oh, my glasses. Tilly, would you read it for me?
Oh, sure. Somebody else didn't forget. It's from Florida. It says, Dearest Mother, happy birthday. Gift en route. Worried you must be lonely. Have found nice 2-bedroom place. Wouldn't you like to join us? Wire reply. Love, Bill and Chris.
The minute they feel guilty enough to send for you, you'll be just like the rest of us.
Mrs. Milgram, you're not going to leave us, are you?
She can't do that.
Well, whatever are you doing here?
Mrs. Milgram, please don't go away.
Why, good heavens, you're all here, and I didn't even know you knew each other.
Well, the small town rumors get around. The lady who puts the ads in.
Oh, when a lot of lucky people find they have one friend in common. Well, come on.
Well,
Come on.
Well, now, what is going on here? What are you all up surprised? Oh!
I baked it myself.
Look what I made!
And Dilly's father brought the food.
Oh, how dear of all of you.
For you.
Hattie, I'm here. I'm in here. Oh, how nice that you came by.
So you did come down to their party. I thought I'd come see if we couldn't take in a movie.
Oh, Hattie, how sweet of you. But you see, now there's the party. And
Of course, if you prefer them.
Oh, no, you don't understand, Hattie. You must stay, too.
Yes, do stay. It's a party.
I should think not. Margaret Milgram, it's your birthday and I forgot. You mean the party's for you?
Yes, isn't that wonderful? Oh, I am so glad you came. Now, you simply got to stay. It's such a happy birthday and such a wonderful gift to feel that you're wanted. Not just pitied, but really wanted and useful right in your own house.
Margaret, you know that old tool shed of Jim's? You don't think some young fellow might?
Why not? Why not, Hattie? I think it's a wonderful idea.
Well, how does one go about it?
Oh, it's very simple. You just put an ad in the paper.
A Don W. Sharp, Warren Lewis production. Next week, the Reverend Merlin Garber takes Bob Richards into his home and sees him leave an ordained minister and Olympic champion on DuPont Theater's Leap to Heaven. Brought to you by the DuPont Company of Wilmington, Delaware, makers of better things for better living through chemistry.